Welcome back, everybody. It's the Denver Post. Parker Gabriel, Ryan McFadden, Broncos beat reporters out here at training camp. It's day 7, depending on how you count them, Ryan. It's getting long, 5 days in a row, one more tomorrow before the Broncos get Sunday off. This is 4 downs, 4 most interesting things we saw and heard today. And Ryan, we're going to start with the 2-minute drill. It wasn't bad the entire time, but it sure started bad for Denver's number 1 offense.
Yeah, then you saw the growing pains there, getting adjusted to a new system for some of these guys, and obviously you could tell during the post-game presser that Payton wasn't too pleased about that. So that's something it's something going to be to look at as we move forward.
Yeah, definitely. So the number 1 offense, Russell Wilson and company, they had 2 procedure penalties, which we'll talk about before the drive even started, like on first down, and then 1 short completion, and then a tip ball interception that Randy Gregory returned for a touchdown. So that's good if you're the defense, not so good if you're the Broncos offense. That's the nature of camp. Number 2, let's just go to the procedure penalties. I mean, they had the 2. It's been the last 2 days, the Broncos have had NFL refs in camp, and there's been a lot of flags, and like you say, Sean didn't really mince words when he was talking about the improvement that's needed in that regard.
Yeah, that's something going into this job he wanted to help clean that up. And so far, they haven't been too clean out there on the field. Obviously, it's probably a little bit on having the refs out there too and having their eye compared to just going off the coaching staff side.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but like I said, it's still for me. It's still like that little adjustment phase, growing phase, getting adjusted to having the refs out here, getting adjusted to how Sean Payton run things, etc.
It was one of the first times we've seen him really sort of throw down the gauntlet, though. He just said at some point you got to take a player off the field if he keeps doing it. So keep an eye on that if you're out here tomorrow. Number 3, we got a lot of one-on-one work today, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and also receivers and DBs. The receivers and DBs, there were some real, Pat Surtain and Jerry Jeudy, that's pretty good stuff to watch. The linemen, though, were interesting, too. Quinn Miners, the right guard, called it a Twitter drill. It's just something you talk about, or a guy goes viral because he gets beat or whatever. But it does have some use, and you mentioned on Twitter a couple days ago some of the young edge guys, Marcus Haynes, Thomas Incoom, some of those young guys that they may not even make the roster. They may be practice squad guys, but it's one of those drills where you just see the physical traits that guys have.
Yeah, it does. And like when we talk about physicality, one guy that stands out to me is Ben Powers. That's a very physical guy up there up front. And when you look on the other side, when you saw the DBs and receivers, like you said, Pat Surtain and Jerry Jeudy, that's a special matchup to watch. And just seeing how at one point it was one of the reps where Jerry Jeudy, he finally beat Surtain, and Surtain came at the last minute to kind of disrupt a pass from Russell Wilson. And a lot like you said, even on the end with like Marcus Hayes, guys who might not make the team but is trying to have a lot to prove. If you look on the other end as well, you guys got a lot of guys there who, like someone like I said before, like a Faion Hicks. He's really has won a lot of reps on his one-on-ones as well. Yep,
there you go. Let's keep it right there with Faion Hicks. Some of the secondary guys, you wrote for the Broncos Journal, denverpost.com/Broncos, just about how good that secondary's been, and they haven't shown really any signs of letting up so far in this camp.
Oh, no, not at all. It's been fun to watch that secondary. Obviously, if you're a fan of offense and a fan of wanting to see Russell Wilson put the 2022 season to the side, it so far hasn't been the camp for that.
That's right.
And they have really been good. You look at, like I said, Justin Simmons has been one of the best safeties in the league in terms of being a true ball hawk and going after the ball. We've seen that so far. We've seen Patrick Surtain playing cornerback look effortless in a way. There's times where they don't even want to throw to him, and when they do throw to him, he's going to make you pay. Damari Mathis has looked good. Just top to bottom, that secondary is very good, and they provided a really tough test for Denver's offense, to the point where it's like you're wondering, is it more of the offense and Russell Wilson that's the struggling, or they're just that good? And for Broncos fans, you will hope it's the latter, that is just they're that good of a defense.
If you want to know why Vance Joseph was willing to entertain the idea of coming back here after he was the head coach and got fired for 2 years, a lot of it has to do with number 2 and number 31 and that back end, because you can really build a defensive scheme around that. All right, that's it for Friday. For Ryan, I'm Parker. Thanks for watching. Check denverpost.com/Broncos for all the latest. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.